Hello, my friends. I'm Pinmeister LP, and we're back with not Ocarina of Time, but rather we're here with what was supposed to be the sequel to Link to the Past, but then Hyrule Historia fucked things over and put the Oracle games in between the two games for whatever reason. But yeah, Link's Awakening, quite possibly my favorite handheld Zelda game in the series. Good God, I love this game so much. I mean, the only real thing I can really complain about this game, honestly, is that I think this game could have had a little more character development, and the bosses are piss easy, but we'll get to that later. With me today I have...
Hey there guys, I'm Sonic Ghost.
Hey buddy, I'm Ryzen51. And I am Matt from LttP Adventures, and there's a gigantic Yoshi egg.
I wanted to LP this Zelda game specifically because I feel this is one of the most underrated gems in the series, and since nobody on the league's LP'd it before, I figured I'd share the experience with you guys.
DX?
Just so I could give you...
Director's Cut?
Yeah, this game was re-released on the Game Boy Advance, and it got some improvements to it, mainly color and an extra dungeon.
But yeah, I figured I'd give you guys the extra taste of nostalgia that I have with this game, so...
Yeah, I've only played a little bit of it. It's just mainly the first few minutes. I found the glitch dungeon. That's about it. Oh, and also I beat the first dungeon to play 10 times in a row because my saves are always screwed up with this game.
Yeah, if you put in Zelda, it changes the file select screen music, and believe me, I figured this out by accident. Apparently in other releases of this game, such as the German release and stuff, they also have different music remixes as well, depending on what name you put in there.
Yeah, true.
I forget what the other names are, but staying true to the tradition, we're going to stick with using Link for a name for our main character from now on. So.
Link?
Yeah, you know, the Link with the eye.
Wow. I'm guessing you're going to probably do that for Ocarina of Time, Lester.
Well, I was thinking more or less the file name that came with my cartridge, but if it's more of a demand, I would just do that. Really doesn't matter.
Anywho, this is Marin. This is probably... Well, she doesn't really have many... Well, actually, not many, but I don't think she really has much to do with the story at all.
Well,
she is probably
it's
the
near the end,
character
she
that is of the utmost importance that you actually, you know, interact with in this game.
Marin. Looks like a Mario. Yeah,
By the face.
He kind of looks like Mario with just a gigantic nose.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing with Link's Awakening. There's a lot of Mario references.
He's basically the comic relief of the game. Believe it or not, though, they don't actually mention it within the game, but that's actually supposed to be Marin's father. For the longest time, I thought that was like her boyfriend or something.
For some odd reason, I thought that was her uncle. Not father, uncle.
Or something, but then, well, for a little bit, and then once she started having a little high school crush, innuendo thing with Link, then I sort of dropped the idea of it altogether. And yes, I'm using my rhythm of the music. Because I actually do like this
okay,
game.
Ken, I'm going to say this. When we get to Sonic 3, you're going to be singing that a lot with mine, so I know what you're doing.
Yeah. But this game is pretty good, and it plays the whole entire adventure feel, too. Like, say, if you go to where, like, Dungeon 2 is somehow, this still plays. Same for, like, the Lost Woods area.
Yes, also, remember that annoying owl, Ocarina of Time? This is the game he first appeared in.
Yeah, and he's just as annoying in this one.
It's not actually more annoying.
I think it's actually a little more annoying here, because you can't skip through his dialogue really fast, like in Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Oh, that sucks.
It's not that bad, it's just, you can notice it.
You found
I like how the sword's kind of transparent.
Hey, Ken, is this... this was supposed to be the sequel to Link's Awakening, right?
Wait, what? You got quiet all of a sudden.
This is supposed to be the sequel to Link's Awakening, right?
You mean Link to the Past?
Did I really just say Link's Awakening? We are playing Link's.
Link's Awakening is the sequel to Link's Awakening. Wait a minute, there's something wrong with this picture.
I meant to say Link to the Past, right?
Yes, it was supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then the Oracle games fell right in the middle for some reason, even though the games have no relation.
Zelda Link Between Worlds got announced.
What makes the least amount of sense though is that if you play the Oracle games, when you beat Zelda, in either one of those two games, she acts like as if you met her for the first time.
Well, you know how Zelda is with their stories. They're terribly linked, if they even are linked.
That's just why I don't believe freaking time.
Number one thing threw me off when they put that in that position it was in the Historia, honestly.
Yeah, well, their stuff was very inconsistent to begin with on that.
The mysterious wood.
This is basically like Lost Woods of the game, except, you know, you can't, like, infinitely loop.
The mysterious wood.
Yeah.
So have you ever actually had experience with this game, Matt?
I've seen my friends play it. I've never played it myself. I really would been wanting to go download the version on a 3DS right now.
By friends, do you mean the old LP I did a long time ago?
No. I meant friends as in my friends that I grew up with.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot fun to play.
Same with Link of the Oracle games, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about LPing those sometime in the future, come to think of it.
Which one would you do first, ages or seasons?
Well, Sean had some kind of interesting idea he wanted to propose to me for that, actually.
Like both at the same time?
Like, I play one, he plays the other.
Yeah. Well, that would work.
Hey, Link found Peach.
That's a mushroom, dude.
Yeah, that's a mushroom.
Yeah, I know, but Princess Toadstool Peach. It just relates.
The joke doesn't work here, son. And, you know, I would use the save and exit feature a lot in here, like I did with Link to the Past. But using it in this game is such a pain in the butt, especially since I'm playing it on an emulator, first off.
Well, mainly the save and quit just takes you back to the last door you entered, so...
Well, no,
save and quit here, you respawn in the cave.
No, the thing I don't like about it is that you gotta press 4 buttons at the same time to use it. Which is why I stick with save states in this game.
It wasn't that bad, only because if you played Zelda 1 on the NES, or Zelda 2, then you're kind of already used to it. Because you had to do the same thing with a second controller.
Yeah.
Excuse you. Oh yeah, excuse me. Thank you.
but it was made more painful using an emulator, since, you know, even if you're using a controller, you can't press every single button at once, so you have to press them in a rhythmic sort of fashion.
That must be a certain emulator thing, because I did the same thing on an emulator as Virtual Boy Advance, and I didn't have the issue. And that was the Wii version of the emulator.
Well, the thing about this, from the looks of things, it's just like Link's sword is so freaking huge.
That's the screen crunch for it, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes everything bigger than it should be.
It's a Link's sword and Oracle games that...
Oh wow, you're really breaking up.
Wow, Ken, hold on a second, dude. Ken, are you there?
I'm not here.
Yeah, you were...
Like, yeah, it sounds like you're better now.
Okay, but I was about to say, out of all the 2D Zelda games, I think the sword is the most broken in this game, actually. You're gonna see what I really mean once we take and combine it with the Rock's Feather later on.
Oh yeah, that's right, because with the Rock's Feather you can jump and still swing.
In the past, I mentioned that the spin attack was the most broken in this game. You're gonna see why.
Yeah, I remember that just from like the few minutes I get to play of it before save files get corrupted.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because apparently, Game Boy save cartridges have not held up well.
That and also DS emulators for Game Boy games are crap.
Well,
they can't save worth anything. Even when they tell you they've
saved. Save batteries. No.
Why?
I meant save battery. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. Why did I say it?
Freaking rupees. Are those moblins, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Those be moblins. Okay.
But anyway, the reason we had to go into the magic powder, actually, is we need to change this guy back into a human. And basically, the reason why we need to somehow where we can't go up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a game of pinball until he explodes.
Told you, comic relief.
Yeah.
It does look like Mario. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a big reference to Mario.
Well, we're going to be tackling the first dungeon in its entirety in this part too, so...
Yeah, the first dungeon's pretty short. So
you'll get to see a lot of Mario references in that dungeon.
Yeah,
is
from
it
what I
the
remember,
shortest
there's a lot.
Is it the shortest one in Ocarina of Time? The first dungeon?
Oh, believe me, the first dungeon in this game is short. Look at it right now. We're at 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, so
We
do the
still got-
math. You can see how long the second, not the second
Damn,
dungeon, the
ow.
first dungeon is.
Or wait, do I do the dungeon in this part?
Yeah, no, you do.
Yes, I do, because I'm looking at the timeline because of YouTube's feature of seeing, like, the video thumbnail if you put the arrow on the timeline. Yeah, I do finish the dungeon.
Yeah, which
Holy
sometimes
crap.
works and sometimes doesn't.
Yeah, I have no idea why it does that either.
But at the same time, this is YouTube we're talking about. They have so many issues. Like
Yeah.
now my issue is
No
I can't
kidding.
like or dislike videos. The whole entire rating system's broken. So I have like
It's actually
a couple videos sitting right now. It's like, hey, you liked it, and then nothing happened.
It's working perfectly fine with me, actually.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be broken for you soon enough. Isn't it broken for you now too, Matt? Or, like-
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
what I
broken
thought.
for
You
me
tell
earlier.
me about it. It's like, oh, well, that didn't happen before.
Oh, now it's
Stupid.
not working on me. I tried to like this video to see if it was going to stop working for me, and now it... Oh, wait,
See?
now it...
It does spread.
Oh, wait, wait, never mind. It was going to take... It took like 10 seconds for it to immediately like
No,
something.
refresh and see if there's an extra like. If there's not an extra like, then it doesn't work. That's what I have to do to check
Oh, is that
it. The
what
like
you
button's
mean?
highlighted, but it's not registered. The site has no
Oh.
idea what it's doing.
Going to the
That
first
sound?
dungeon already.
Level 1, Tail Cave.
And it only takes me 4 minutes to get through this.
Yeah. And that's worth getting everything too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, nah, that's saying something.
Well, we do have to backtrack to this dungeon later after we get bombed to get something, but other than that,
Yeah, well, you won't get one thing for it, so it's completely optional. I know that much from at least watching, like, Chugga Conway's Let's Play this, and I think I've seen another one before this. Probably NCS.
Did NCS do this?
Yeah, he did, but that
Yeah,
was
he
like a
did.
long time ago. I think it was like 2009.
Right now he's LPing a Pokemon Sapphire blind.
Mm-hmm.
Is that his first time playing a Pokemon game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This
that's
is NCS's very first Pokemon game.
Which, oddly enough, he's doing third gen. I was really surprised. I thought he was going to do first gen before us, but
It'd been nice he got the first one, go a little old school.
Well, I think I remember him saying he didn't want to do a game that was overdone. The first generation is done like no other. And barely anyone touches, like, Fire Red, or not Fire Red, Ruby or Sapphire.
Piece of Power almost like sound like you.
Yeah. The
I
damage
seen it for a
ratio
little
in
bit.
this game is ridiculous. I had
Especially
to
when you
turn
get Piece of
myself
Power.
down a bit when I get an upgrade
I was
later
gonna say,
on.
does it relate to Mario getting like a star power or something
Hey,
like that?
can I please talk? What I was trying to say is that the trade gets so broken in this game. You also get a lot just heck out, and I'm going to
Okay.
tone down on that.
You got a what?
So I'm not-
Sorry, we could not
Okay,
understand a single word of it. But
Your
we're not
internet
trying to talk
connection.
over you, it's just we don't know when you're talking because of Skype's cutting you out.
Right.
Playing the stupid apartment I'm staying in. Anywho, like I was saying, the damage ratio is stupidly broken in this game. There's a level 2 sword, and there is a tunic that gives us attack power. I'm actually going to go with a different colored tunic, just so I don't break the game ridiculously hard, so...
Yeah, that's right, because when you have the red tunic, level 2 sword, and then you also have a piece of power, I think you can defeat most bosses like 1 or 2 hits.
Oh, that's how you get that hard. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. This
Go
boss,
Buzz!
the
Yep.
boss of this dungeon literally only takes 2 spin attacks, even without the piece of power.
Yeah, it only
defeat.
takes 2 without it. It's really impressive
So
at the same time.
imagine if we
Really
had a
sad.
piece of power on hand and went to that boss and beat him that way.
Yeah, if you use a
Or
one spin
spin
attack or
attack.
piece of power, he's done in 1 hit.
Yeah. And we'll be finding a lot of disappointing bosses in this game that could have been harder, could have been, designed a little better. But
Yeah, from one.
in fact,
What
if
I've
anything, I
seen-
think Link's Awakening, in my opinion, probably has the worst bosses in the entire series.
I was gonna say the same thing. From what I've seen, I think the hardest boss is probably the one in Turtle Rock, and I think that's mainly because of the terrain and not the boss. So it's only
No,
those
level
moments.
8 boss isn't too hard. As long as you keep your distance away from it, you'll do fine. It just does stupidly high amounts of damage. But again, we'll get into that once we actually fight them. I think the only boss that ever actually gave me trouble first time playing was the one from level 5. Level 5's boss is the only one that proves any real sort of threat, in my opinion. So.
This is the boss.
Really?
Wow, he looks so goofy.
Yeah, the thing is.
Seriously. Something to see from a Kirby game. At the most.
Well, there is a Kirby enemy in this
He's
game.
already dead.
There is literally an enemy that's pretty much Kirby.
Oh,
Yeah, I have no problem playing Reckless with this game whatsoever, so.
What? Oh, that's the actual boss.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
small
enemy
again. Is he going to be as threatening as he was in Link to the Past?
Not even close. Only because he takes less hits to kill now.
Nope.
Bye-bye.
And it seems like it's harder for him to knock you off in Awakening here than it is in Link to the Past.
Oh yeah, because you can jump over him.
Well, there's that, and it just seems like he doesn't push you back as far. I don't know, that might be my imagination, just that's what it seems like.
Full Moon Cello.
But yeah, that was the first dungeon in 5 minutes.
Yeah. With our first instrument already.
Now somebody
Basically-
somebody should go and make a video titling Zelda Dungeon in 5 minutes.
Well,
We're
I
basically
know,
collecting musical instruments.
you can actually beat Ocarina of Time in 5 minutes. So
No, 30 minutes. Get it right.
Link to the Past.
Yeah, there
Or
you go.
no, better yet, just do a video titled Zelda Dungeon in 5 seconds. Show very little of this dungeon and then video over. There you go.
Right here, just walk in the door and just leave.
Yep. Anywho, see you guys in part 2.
Yep.